No one should be surprised. I can't. I don't know. So here's the thing. If you're new to this channel, you haven't heard my tirade about the Starfleet Voyager. So I was buying Lego from the stores back in the early 80s into the 90s. So I bought many classic space sets. Now, I will say, I don't think I've specifically mentioned this part, but you probably could have inferred it by all my other stories. I got the 918 for Christmas. I heard that one before. Then I got 4 other sets, the 6880, the 6890, 69824, or whatever. Those 2 little small sets that I got, 4 of them. And then I turned 13, and my parents stopped buying me Lego because I'm too old for it. So I started buying my own because I was cutting grass and doing work and working on farms. I had a lot of money. Well, at the time, it was a lot of money. And so I kept on buying Lego sets. I bought the Beta 1. I bought the Galaxy Commander. I bought the, I just kept on buying the Space Dart. I bought that. It was in the movie. All those sets that you saw in Lego Wars, I bought. All the sets in Lego Wars, besides the Dark Dude-mobile, were mine. Every single one of them. And that was not even 1/4 of the sets that I had at the time. We made it in 1984, 1985. So I kept on buying, and so I would walk into Zeller's down there at Fiesta Mall in Stony Creek or wherever else, but mostly Fiesta Mall. And I would go to the toy section, look at the Lego sets, and anything that I was remotely interested in, I would buy it. Hence, I bought the Space Dart, and I bought the Beta 1, and blah, blah, blah. And the Starfleet Voyager was there. It was there, I think, since 1982 or 1981. And I said, no, I did not like the look of it. I mean, it was a bigger set for the time. It wasn't the biggest set, but it was a bigger set for the time. But I just didn't like it. I was so used to the blue, gray, and trans yellow, and then even the smaller sets, the later sets, the white, blue, and trans dark blue. And the Starfleet Voyager did not fit into any of those, first of all. So it didn't look like the rest of them. It looked clumpy, I guess is a word for it. It looked frumpy. And so I would not buy it. And it was there for the longest time, and I was buying all the other sets. And even when I couldn't buy a classic space set in the Lego store, I would buy another set. Sometimes I buy a castle set. Sometimes I buy a town set. And so I have some castle and I have some town. But I would always focus on the classic space. And then Futuron showed up. I started buying Futuron. Blacktron 1 showed up. I was buying Blacktron 1. Blah, blah, blah. So I never stopped buying Lego from the stores. But I never, ever bought the Starfleet Voyager in the stores, even though I saw it. And I'm going to say this too, as well. I mentioned it's basically the same story as the Robot Command Center that came out during basically a little after this time, 1984, 1985, whatever that, the Robot Command Center. And I wouldn't buy that one either. I said, there's no way I'm buying the set. I don't like the look of it from the box. And it was many years later. It was pre-internet. Well, maybe it wasn't pre-internet because I had to get the instructions from somewhere. So it was after the internet, but pre me actually doing Lego space displays. So 2007 was my first space display with Jeffy. 2006, 2007, if I remember correctly. I had caved in, and I knew I had all the parts from all the used lots that I had, and I built myself a Starfleet Voyager, and I immediately fell in love with it. I mean, it's not my favorite set by far, but it is a very good set, period. It's got some great parts in it, but I did the review on it. You can go look it up. But I fell in love with it, and I kicked myself in the butt for not buying it off the store shelves for the years that I could have, because it was seriously in the stores for a long time back in the day, because Lego sets were in the stores for a very long time back in the early 80s. And so I built a Starfleet Voyager. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I built one. I built two. I built a few from my used lot collections over the years, and I was happy with it. And then it started showing up in my displays, which is fine. I even did a recolorization by changing all the white you see here into blue, and all the trans dark blue into trans yellow. I have no idea. I don't think that build exists anymore in my collection, but I had that in a few of my layouts too. So recoloring of the Starfleet Voyager into original classic spaceship colors. But it is a wonderful set. So when I got this lot last week, and I was going through it and I was finding all the pieces, all the various pieces, I was thinking after sorting through the white that I probably had a Starfleet Voyager. The problem was, overall, there was some critical parts missing. The trans dark blue, for example, there are 3 key trans dark blue pieces in here. There's only 3 trans dark blue pieces: the 4x6 plate, the 3x6 windshield, and the 3x6 or the 5x6x2 inverted window on the bottom. None of those pieces were in the lot, but there were so many other pieces that just screamed to me that the Starfleet Voyager was in the lot before it came to me. So I filled in all the rest. And my thing was, and I know I said I was going to start substituting pieces just so you can see how many pieces I replaced. I brought about at least 20 pieces into this from my collection. Probably more closer to 30 pieces in my collection. The ladders, both ladders were not there. One gray, the other side had it. One of the thrusters only had one. Both radar dishes were there. I had to bring in 1 gun. I had to bring in 2 4x4 wing plates on one side. So I had 4. This thing comes with 4 and 4 left, 4 right. I had 4 left and 2 right. I had to grab the 1 cone, but I had to make sure it was original, because that's what the Starfleet Voyager would have had. Because that's what I do. In this instance, 1 4x12 or 4x10, whatever there's one that was in the lot, one that wasn't in the lot. As you know, I had to grab that piece out of my collection. I found the best one I could. So this is what I did, because the pieces were so good in the lot. I wanted to make the best I could without putting too much effort into it, but the best I could by the missing pieces I would grab from my collection and make sure that they were as best as possible. And when it comes to white, that's actually quite difficult for me. Not like a 2x8 plate, but these guys right here, these little guys right here, I have so many of these, but they're all yellowed. There's not all of them, but because I found this one had 1 in the lot, I had to find 3 more. And so I had to really dig to find 3 of those that were not yellowed. I had to find, what else? Oh yeah, it only had 2 tails. I had to find 6 more that were not yellowed. So I had to find 1 more 1x4 black, white brick with black stripes on it, which is fine because I got lots of those. I had to find 1 more 1x2 brick with the pattern, these classic space pattern, because it had 3 and I needed 4. I had to find 4 or 5. Well, this is easy. 1x1 trans red plates. On the bottom, I had 2 of these landing pads. I had to find 2 more out of the collection. It did not even have the back rocket thrusters. I had to grab those out of my collection. And this is the sad part right now, and I'll go into a bit of a tangent after this and talk about it. I had to find both 4x6 plates, and the windows were there, but the shutters were not there. And this is not an issue for me, because in the space layout, I have about a dozen of these guys built, and I use them for the thought of transporting sundries and stuff around the layout for storage. So this is the container I use in the layout, and I used a little 2x4 container that came in the 924 set. I built lots of those. I got like 20 of those in the layout. And so I will be able to get the doors off one of those or just substitute it with this guy, because these logos are pretty nice. They're not mint by any stretch, but they're very, very nice. The gold's still there on both of them. This one was a little worn here, and this is the one I substituted for my collection. So I tried to find the best parts I could. Again, even my 2x3 slope with pattern on it, this is the best one I had. And you can still see the gold on it. The antennas, I had to get all the antennas from my collection, 1, 2, and 3. The gray antenna I had to get from my collection. And the other thing, again, for those people who do care about this, and it depends on my mood. It depends on any given day about my mood and what kind of mood I'm in. This is a 1x2 with handle type 2, not type 1. Type 2 has the handles themselves 3/4 of the way down the plate, and type 1, the handles are exactly center of the plate, and they're a little bit thicker and a little bit longer. And they came in the 3-digit sets, the 924 to 928 to 918. That's those 3-digit sets all had type 1 handles. But it says in the inventory here that the Starfleet Voyager also had type 1 handles. Now, I know I have them. I know I have them. I have absolutely a plethora of 1x2 type 2 handles, but I have about a half a dozen 1x2 type 1 handles. I just didn't feel like looking for them at this time. I probably, maybe when I reconstituted all my Galaxy Explorers, because those take 3 or 4, I think 4, yes, 3 in the Galaxy Explorer, 1 on the radar dish holder, that I probably used most of them up in the type 1s, because I wanted to be as authentic as possible. And again, depends on the given day whether or not I do that, because again, I don't care overall. Right now, I want to differentiate between a type 1 and a type 2 handle, because they're fundamentally, quote unquote, fundamentally different. Because the type 1 handles, you shouldn't actually be using your hands of your minifigs to grab them, because the actual handle is a little thicker too, and it'll stretch the hands of your minifigs. They're slightly thicker. These ones are exactly the same size to hold a minifig can hold on to them. And so that makes it a difference for building. Whereas when I talk about the 1x4 plates, and some of them, the newer ones, have this drilled out to save plastic. That to me is not a distinguishing difference at all between this 1x4 plate without the little holes in these pips and the ones with the holes in the pips, because there's zero difference to building. Whereas the 1x2 handle, type 1 and type 2, are fundamentally different. As a matter of fact, I did a video on this a long time ago. The 1x2 type 1, the handles are actually longer than two studs. So this one you can put on here, and you can see that the studs do not extend past the edge of this plate. Whereas a type 1 1x2 handle, they will extend beyond that plate. And so therefore you can't build it into something if you're wanting to put something in front of it. If you want to put something in front of it, like, I don't know why you would want to do this, but if you wanted to do this, you couldn't do that with a type 1. You could not do that with a type 1 handle, because the handles themselves will extend into this, into where this plate is. So it's a fundamentally different piece, even though it's still a 1x2 with handle. But anyway, so that tangent rants over. I love this set. I have 2 in the layout, and the 2 that I have in the layout are not nearly as good looking as this one is. Because I even when I went into my collection, I found the 3x or the 5x6x2 inverted slope as clear as possible. You can see that was pretty much mint, and the top one pretty much mint. The 4x6, it's a little dusty. But so all the pieces that I grabbed from my collection, I made sure they were as neat and bright and clean and not sun-spotted and faded. You can sort of see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but these two tails came from, these 2 tails came from my collection. They're a little more yellowed than these 2, which came with the lot. But these were the 2, again, without dumping out my entire wing bin and trying to find more. These 2 are as close as possible to non-yellowed as I could find. These 2 are really well done, without any fading at all. Other than that, I don't want to do a review on this set, because I already did a review on this set, but when I was rebuilding it today, I realized there are some deficiencies I don't think I pointed out in the review. And it's something that you couldn't have done back in 1981 when the set came out. But there was a perfect opportunity on here. You see that little 1x4 studded area to put a console, for sure. Absolutely. The other one is back here, we have usually when you have a 1x1 headlight brick, there's something plugged into it, either like a gun here, or something else on here, or even like a 1x1 trans plate on there. They didn't do that for these guys. They just sit there. They actually just sit there. And it's like I've noticed that the first time I built it, I said, what was supposed to go in there? And nothing. So I always found that to be just a little bit odd. That is just sitting there doing absolutely nothing. But again, such a small deficiency and such a wonderful set. Again, I will not know at this point how many of these I have built right now. I know I have 2 in the layout. I don't have any on display in this room right now, which is not that shocking because, you know, I'm packing things up. But I'm glad I built it. And again, even with the 20, 30 pieces I had to grab from my collection, I'm glad I did it. I was thinking halfway through that maybe there wasn't a Starfleet Voyager in here, that these pieces were for something else, but I couldn't think of any one set that would have most of these pieces in it, besides the Starfleet Voyager. So, but again, the trans dark blue was missing all of them. It was missing 6 of the 8 tails. It was missing some extraneous pieces down here. So I am very hesitant to start thinking about the Alpha 1 rocket base now, because I'm really getting down to the quote unquote the dregs of what's left. And I think I'm going to be pulling a lot of parts for the Alpha 1 rocket base. I do have a few 2x2 round bricks in white, one in black, and black thruster like here. So, you know, I got that. So that's again because I had some over there. So there are, I would say I'm going to have about 60% of the pieces for the Alpha 1 rocket base from the lot, and I'll have to pull 40% from my collection. And that's just going to be a lot of work. So I'm not looking forward to that. So that's what it is. So, and that's probably going to take me some time, but right now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I built another one. Where is it? What am I doing? Oh, yeah, the go-kart. 6. I already put the go-kart away. I've built 6 sets from this lot so far. Again, the lot was $50. The miscellaneous pieces that I've grabbed from my collection are negligible for cost. You know, for me, multiple parts of lots of parts. So besides the few pieces, the one piece that I have to substitute on the FX Star Patroller, and the one piece I have to substitute on the mobile, whatever, the 2x2 tile with the yellow arrow on it. Every other piece is here in order from my collection. So there's no extra missing pieces from my collection, or in these sets. I'm getting tired. I'm starting to slur my speech. So that's it. I'm gonna call it. Oh yeah, I even put the minifig in. The minifig came from the lot. So not the best red space guy I have, but he came with this lot, and he might have come from the set. I don't know. I got another red torso here, and some red legs, and that's it for red. I have, so here I got that. I think some of that is from the rocket base wouldn't have had yellow. I would have just had red and white. Afterwards, let me just see what the rocket base had. The rocket base had red 1, white 2. So it's been 2 white guys and 1 red guy. So there's 2 white guys that are not even remotely complete, and 1 red guy that is not remotely complete. So I got 2 extra yellow guys that I don't know where they would go. So I'm going to start looking at that, but I don't have a lot of quote unquote cool pieces anymore. And yeah, and gray and black and white. I showed you the gray the other day before I finished these guys, and so it's even less now. Like, it's just not much in there at all to warrant a space set. Again, I do have the 8x8 wing plate that tells me that, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I got one of these still, but I need 3, either for the Gamma 5 or for the FX Star Patroller. And there's, as far as I know, there is absolutely no set that had this wing plate. Let me just go back into Puron. Why was I looking at the Cosmic Cruiser? Doesn't matter. Go here, Gamma. I was like typing in Gamma into the search field because it's such a nice name. Gamma 5 laser sort by color, which I always do. Scroll down until I see this wing plate. They don't call it a wing plate. They call it old gray. Wing 8x8 with 4x4 cutout. 4475. Old gray. The only 2 sets the oldest piece came in with the FX Star Patroller and the Gamma 5. And they both require 3. And I had 4 in the lot. I don't think there's a Gamma 5 in this lot because there is a lot of unique pieces to the Gamma. Well, not unique pieces, but rare pieces in the Gamma 5 that I don't have here at all. And so I'm going to say it's just a miscellaneous piece that somehow got into the lot. What else? There's hardly anything else in here that's even worth talking about. I got no more wing plates. I have a few, like I still have a steering wheel that does not belong to the Alpha 1 rocket base, which is, yeah, because I got all my steering wheels over there. Maybe I got, one for here. So, and I also have I should check out the 722 Universal set, because I got 2 or 3 of these in there. But the rest of it is just plates and bricks. Oh yeah, and 1 landing pad. Again, beta 1. All right, so that's beta 1, possibly. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember if this was in the beta 1. I'm just racking my mind right now, and I can't recall. It's not in the shuttle, I don't think. No, it's not in the shuttle. It's not in the vehicle, and it's not in the station, I don't think. It's been a while since I built one. But in the end, if I run out of parts to build stuff now, I still have, which is a little bit odd. I still have. No, I don't. I thought I still had nothing in white. I used up all the wing plates in the rover there. Blue. There are some Technic pieces in there. But nothing to write home about. Maybe it's from the 770 or 722. And yellow. So, no more classic space goodness. Which is just kind of sad. And, yeah, so I think after the Alpha 1, I'm just going to roll things into the collection. Because there won't be anything else. I was thinking, I don't know, what did the Alpha 1 have? Did I already pull them out? All that stuff is already out. Let's see. The Alpha 1, if they have the blue bricks. They don't have any of these blue bricks. So I was thinking at one point that there was a couple 3-digit sets, either the 924 to 928, which contained both of these. But, and this guy here could have been literally almost anything, small to big. There was a few sets that came with this, and I would not. Let's go to Starfleet Voyager, find a white one, go down to the white one, and it's going to 3298P60 in old gray. The Mobile Lab needs 2. I remember that. Alien Moonstalker, which I just did a review again on a couple months back. X1 Patrol Craft. I was really hoping for that one, but no, there's no other parts for that. Surfax Explorer, the 6880. There's not any of the rubber tires. The 891 2-seater space scooter. 2-seater space scooter. Now, that could be one of the ideas that's because that's a pretty ubiquitous set from back in the day, And I do have a lot of 1x plates that I believe would work on that. But I have no more wing plates for that. The Lever Brothers, we're not talking about. Because that's what this guy's for. 885 the same thing as the 691, 891 I mean. No, it's not. There's different ones. 885, 442 and 885. And Gray Space Elements. What is 13-1? Oh, yeah, definitely not it. There's a space shuttle, 442. Yeah, so that is the same one. Space shuttle. I love the rename things. And Space Scooter, 885. That's the small one. I would have loved, well, I wouldn't have loved, but it would have been easy to build an 885 right now. What am I talking about? There is one gray plate in here, but I don't have the other side. So maybe it's an 885. Let's look at the parts inventory for 885. Like, that's 5 seconds to look through. Gray gun, 1x2 with handle, and I don't know if I want to build that. I really don't know. I'm gonna build the oops, this is the one part deficiency about the Starfleet Voyager, is that front nose always breaks. If I build the Alpha 1 rocket base and I still have time and patience, I will see if I can build an 885. I mean, can I see? Yeah, I'll be able to absolutely build 885 if I want to build an 885. I'm sorry, I'm coughing. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go to bed. I took some medication, some strong medication to try to get this cough taken care of, because it's really starting. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention. I didn't want to talk about this, so I'm gonna push all this out of the way and mix up my pieces again. Put this over here. So this is why I am downsizing. So this is just one of my shoebox totes full of doors and windows. And I try to separate it a little bit because for white, I have 4 of these full of doors and windows and fences and stuff. This is when I hauled out to see if I could find some white shutters. I mean, here's some yellow ones right there. Right? So if there was white shutters and I was sorting properly, this is the tote they would be in. But I can't dig through this. And I would say 99.9% of the pieces in here I will never, ever, ever use. But what do I do with them? Like, who's going to want to buy all these? Oh, these are nice. Some Star Wars stuff. Some more Star Wars stuff. I don't think that was supposed to go in here, but whatever. Like, I just have all these things. This is custom engraving, by the way. It's nice, eh? Sorry for the cough. So I usually have an empty tote to dump this into, a bigger tote to dump this into, but right now that's full of parts of stuff I have to sort. Here's another bin here of stuff, doors and windows and shutters and fences, and sometimes panels and burps, and the big carriage down here, but fences and stuff. Just a whole bunch of stuff that some, I think, Paradisia, the ladder for the fire truck, you know, so some panels from Castle. So it's just disheartening when I'm trying to find a part in this. I mean, I am excuse me, I am slowly migrating my collection very, very slowly now to Jeff's way of sorting things with these Plano boxes. I use 2 Plano boxes because I'm a cheap Dutch person that doesn't want to spend a lot of money, so I'll spend, you know, whatever it is, $3 from the dollar store. But of course, that wouldn't cover those guys because those pieces are too big to store in one of those Plano boxes. But maybe the smaller pieces would be able to be stored. But, you know, so that's a long, arduous process, considering that I'm going to be moving this room soon, possibly. So that's kind of on hold right now. But when I was looking for those white shutters, because I know I have more white shutters, it's just, I just didn't want to dump the box because I don't have anything to dump it into at this point. I'd be dumping it on the table and I have to clean it up afterwards. It's like, ah. So getting to the storage solution that my good buddy Jeff has, where it looks like this, you know, you see all your parts in all the various setups. This is a lot better, especially for the smaller parts. And so that's what I plan on doing for the smaller parts first, and not worrying about the bigger parts. But and then if it overflows, then those pieces get sold. And that is my plan, and it's worked. I sold stuff at Bricks in the Six, and I sold stuff at Brickomania. And I mentioned selling the go-karts earlier in my previous video. If you're interested, let me know. I'm not interested at this point in selling classic space sets, although I can't say that 100%, because when somebody does ask and I know them and they're good friends, I will absolutely sell it to them. And I've sold 2 Galaxy Commanders. Nope. Cosmic Fleet Voyagers. Yep. I've sold 2 Cosmic Fleet Voyagers in my life. And they're both the friends. And they both live in the Ottawa area, which is kind of unique. And I sold a box of the Cosmic Fleet Voyager to somebody in Ottawa too. So that's like really odd. And that's all I gave it to them. That's kind of coincidental. But if you, because I do have lots. Like, I don't know. Turn this thing a little bit. I don't know how many of those I have right now. I don't think it's half a dozen. I don't think it's 6 yet. But I think I have at least 4 of those built right now. The Space Dart, lots. That guy, I think that's just my second one I've ever built in my life. This guy is 3 or 4. This guy, I'm probably up there by 6 or 7 now that I have built of that one. And 2 are in the layout, and the rest are in storage in those bins in the garage. And this one is going to probably replace one of the ones that are in my layout because it looks so freaking good that I really put some effort into making it look good. But I personally am not going out of my way to sell classic space sets, because I still want to do that one show where I show up with all my base plates, and you can't see them, but they're over there, and all my landing pads and all my T intersections, and like seriously just kind of throw it out on like 7 or 8 tables, and put every classic space set that I have in a baggie, because again, I can build. I hate talking about this because it makes me look like I'm just, you know, what do you call that? You know, showing off basically. So if you look at the room, like you look at all that and you look at all this, and this is what I'm just going to show you right now. This is my modified plates for light gray, old light gray. This is my stack of window wheel wells. This is my stack of type 2 1x2 handles, and I got more in there. Like, this is since collecting since 1978 of classic space stuff. So this is just my modified plates bin for light gray. This is my modified brick bin for light gray. You know, so you got the 2x2s, 2x4s, 2x4s. The only duplicate I have, because I don't want to get rid of any light gray, but 2x3s and 2x6 plus. And then you got the 1x1s, 1x2s, 1x3s, and then 1x4s are all piled there. This should be below that. That's 1x6 plus. Now 1x1 to 1x4 plates, 1x6 above plates, 2x2, 3, 4, 6, 8 plus. And then you got the 4x plates, and then the 6x plates, and the miscellaneous slopes, and the 45-degree slopes, and the 33-degree slopes, and the doors, windows, fences, and shutters in there. And then mod bricks, because I overflowed from this guy. He was filled up, so I have it down here. This is backwards. Get that forward. Hinge multi-part. So anything that's the multi-part is in here. Like that. So this is my light gray collection as it is. Oh yeah, and then the tiles and the rounds and the bigger rounds are up there. So this in and of itself is collecting light gray since 1978, basically. And I have lots of it. Oh, I forgot the wing plates. This one was full until I built my big spaceship. And it's going to be full again because I'm going to take that thing apart. So it's going to be full again. But this is miscellaneous wings. This is miscellaneous wings. And this is just 4x9 wing plates. That whole thing is 4x9 wing plates. And light gray. So, you know, it is something. And that's just light gray, right? And that's old gray that nobody has anymore. Now, dark gray, I won't even talk about because I have such a minimal supply of old dark gray. Black goes from the top ceiling all the way down to the bottom. So that is all black. That is the most number of bricks I have. And again, it's sorted out here, 1x1 to 1x4, 1x6 plus, 2x2, 2x3, 2x4, full of just 2x4 plates. 2x6 plates, half full, but it wouldn't fit in there. 2x8 plus. And then, oh, sorry, this is just 2x8 and 2x10, and this is 2x12 plus. And then you got, this is kind of a little mixed up because I was just using, say, 6x plates, 4x plates, and 4x plates, which are all sorted out now. These are 1x1 modified plates, and that is 1x2 modified plates. 1x1, 1x3 bricks, 1x2 bricks, 1x3, 4 bricks, 1x6 and 8 bricks. 1x5 modified bricks, 1x2 modified bricks, just mod bricks and mod bricks. And then hinge multi-part, hinge multi-part, hinge multi-part. The top is all round. So that's all in 10. It's also all small pieces. These are the classic space pieces with the dishes, whatever. These are all the miscellaneous stuff up here. 2x2 bricks, see, it's a little mixed up. 2x6, 8, and 10. 2x3 bricks, 2x4 bricks. Tiles and tiles. And then printed and stickered, which I always had separate for anyway. Wings, which I haven't sorted out yet. These are all modified plates. And then we're back up here, again, round at the top, about 45 inverted, miscellaneous slopes, 33 slopes, 33 inverted slopes, doors, doors, windows, fences, and shutters, bing, bang, boom. And then 45-degree slopes way down there for whatever reason. I don't know how that got in there, but that's there now. And at the very bottom, again, I was just building the Starfleet Voyager, so I did these guys out. At the very bottom, these, okay, so those are 32x32 light blay. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 32x32 gray base plates with nothing on them. And then I have, I don't know, this many landing pads and that many T-intersections, whatever, that's landing pad and T-intersections. I got one blue crater plate. I just got it at Value Village one day. And the rest of this is all crater plates. And that's here. It's not in storage. It's not, because when I build the beta ones, so anyway. And then some Palladicia, whatever. These guys are great for the various Unitrons, whatever. And then the water ones for the castles and stuff. And then all those rugged ones over here. It's a little bit messy, I know. Over there is all my old road plates. The bigger ones with the sidewalk on the side and the smaller ones without the sidewalk on the side. And then you got the green ones for the airports and roads and stuff. The speedways. And then over here is just the 32x32s. These are the Blacktron 2 landing pads and T-intersections. And then you get a couple dark blue. I think a couple, these are going to be